Hello and welcome to the program Faith in Action. The purpose of the church, as we know, is to raise man from his fallen state and bring him through Jesus Christ to participate forever in the life of God. But man, by creation, is immortal, being whose actions are guided by temporal realities, the laws of nature, and the rules of society. Now, we are finding ourselves at the major thrust of the program, which is faith and work. I am Emeka Obieki. Our first port of call in our journey through the line of faith is the Catholic Bishops' Conference of Nigeria, CBCN. This is the organ of unity, communion, and solidarity for millions of Catholics spread across the country. It is the forum where the collegiality of the Nigerian Catholic bishops as successors of Apostle in union with the Pope is expressed, and where the church is seen as a significant family. Through the conference, the archbishops and bishops of the ecclesiastical jurisdictions, as shepherds of souls, are able to pray together, study together, work together, and with one voice are able to speak and spearhead the teaching, the prophetic and pastoral ministry of the Catholic Church and the entire society in general. Let us move on straight to the next segment of this program, which is church activity.
The Catholic Bishops' Conference of Nigeria began its first plenary meeting on the 22nd of February 2015 with the theme, Good Families Make Good Nation. The meeting, which began with a Holy Mass at Our Lady Queen of Nigeria Pro Cathedral, Abuja, had in attendance the lay faithful, religious, priests, bishops, and some prominent dignitaries, including the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, GCFR, and President of the Nigerian Senate, Distinguished Senator David Mark. During the Mass, the CBCN President, Most Reverend Dr. Ignatius Kaigama, called on the people to use the family as an agent of peace.
Please go back home to your families and do something positive in your family for the good of Nigeria. Even those who are not here, even those who are not Christians or Catholics worshiping right now, they are also members of families. Please use the family to bring a revolution, a change, a transformation for this country. The family can do it.
After the Mass, the bishops proceeded to the hall for their plenary session, which was declared open by Most Reverend Dr. Ignatius Kaigama.
Dear brothers and sisters, I now have the singular pleasure, through Mary our Mother, to declare our first CBCN plenary for 2015 open.
The Papal Nuncio to Nigeria, His Excellency, Most Reverend Dr. Augustine Kasuja, talked about the theme of the plenary meeting.
The theme chosen by this assembly is, as you have heard, good families make good nations. This is one of the key points on which His Holiness Pope Francis puts more emphasis in this time of new evangelization of a secularized society in which, I quote his words, faith is where Evangelii Gaudium, paragraph 83.
The representative of the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, read out his goodwill message to the bishops.
The theme of your conference, Good Families Make Good Nations, is apt. The theme brings to the doorsteps of every Nigerian the charge to nurture our families in order to build a healthy nation. The pursuit of money and material, while legitimate, must be balanced. Every effort must be made to denounce a disproportionate emphasis on worldliness in order to build families that imbibe godly and enduring values. The responsibility of raising good families is a shared responsibility of the parents, the church and the mosque, the school, colleges and universities, and of course, the government in power.
There was an interactive session.
They have not got it wrong. But there are some strange ideas coming into our families. Every culture is dynamic and must grow. You heard the Senate President saying that his children talking to him to listen to them. It has always been that in every culture, people develop. And as they develop, fresh things come in. What is wrong with our own is when our culture is jettisoned just to imbibe fully the other culture. So what we need is more of parents and children listening one to the other.
Insisting on family prayers, for example, and maybe attending religious activities more than during any other time. All this brings us closer to God. And I always remind people too that prayer includes listening to God. And there's no better way to listen to God than to read the Bible and listen to God speaking to us through the Bible.
The first plenary meeting ended on the 26th of February 2015 with a Holy Mass at Holy Trinity Catholic Church, Maitama, where the communique was read by His Lordship, Bishop Donatus Ogun.
Having prayerfully reflected on the theme, good families make good nations, we now present our communique to the Church and to the nation. The first task of the family is to be the first school where fidelity to one another, love, sanctity of life, solidarity, mutual respect, and values that promote human dignity are learned. The family is at the service of love and life. When parents educate their children on the essential values of human life, to love the truth, to love the good, to love and to be loved.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I hope you enjoyed that beautiful segment. In fact, our prelates have gone back to the cradle to start touching the lives of Nigerians. Remember the theme they explored. They are talking about the home being the cradle of everything that happens in the society. If you have a bad home, it will reflect in the generality of the society. Therefore, it is seen that the home is a micro-society in the entire macro-society. So when you have a good father, a good mother, a good son, we are very likely to have a very good nation, populated by good doctors, good politicians, good teachers, etc., etc. Well, we are moving on to the next segment of the program, which is My Faith and I. What is it talking about? We're exploring the world of very successful Catholics whose faith in the Catholic Church have made them what they are today. Let us join Lavon Seletao with our guest for this week.
Welcome to My Faith and I am Lavon Seletawo. My special guest today on this program is somebody who was born into the Catholic Church from Ogwashiku. She was a one-time banker for 26 years, a very busy person, a lawyer, and she still finds time to practice her Catholic faith, a faith she's very proud about. She's been involved in a lot of activities in the church, helping the youth, and a great philanthropist. Let's move over to her now for the rest of the interview.
Well, I think one of the things that's really inspiring, that really drives me, is when you look at Psalm 49. Psalm 49 is a very special psalm because people today live in the material world. And it teaches us, this is what I teach the youth that I mentor, instant gratification compared to delayed gratification. Psalm 49, 16 and 17, it tells you that don't get upset about people that have wealth, because you don't know how they've made it. But the important thing is that they will not take that money to the grave. If you also go to 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 10, it tells you that the love of money is the root of all evil. So these scriptures are there. If we don't have the scriptures, we're going to just have a weak faith. And I found myself, I've converted a Muslim, I've gotten people who are not Catholics to say the rosary. And what I think is my gift, I always pray to God, that God has blessed me, I'm comfortable. I can say that I'm wealthy to an extent where I don't desire money anymore because I can feed myself, I have a roof over my head, and I've been blessed with children, beautiful children who also believe in God. So what you want to do is to be able to give it to the next generation, be able to give back to a level where, it just keeps you very strong.
Like St. Jose Maria Escriva, who loves the church so much. I see that you are so devoted and you love the church so much. So can we talk about your activities in the church?
Well, before I got this appointment, I was very, very active. I still try to be, but it's a bit difficult living in Abuja and working with people in Lagos. I approached the church when I was running my small bank, and I mentor the youth. I chat with them. I groom them spiritually, and I mentor them. I talk to them about their talent, about vocation, and gratification, instant gratification and delayed gratification, how to plan their lives, the will of God. You teach young people. A lot of Catholics do things, they don't know why we do things. Why do we do the sign of the cross? Or why do we do a cross when we're going to say the scriptures, Why do we pay homage and honor to Mother Mary? We don't worship her, but we honor her as the Mother of Christ. But there are scriptures there to tell every reason why we pray to Mother Mary, and how she has, from the scriptures, everything she said, humility. So all the things she said when the angel came to her, be it done to me according to thy will. So to be able to share with women especially, that we should all aspire to be like Mother Mary, that a woman must never be proud. So you find with women, pride is a problem with us. And that is where you find, for example, in Isaiah 3:16, God slammed at women and says, women are so proud, women of Jerusalem. I gave you beautiful hair. That hair, you're going to become bald. You walk with your TikTok, walking like this, ladylike steps. Your legs are going to be broken. You wear perfume. You're going to stink. You have beautiful linen clothes. All those clothes, you're going to be turned to rags, and you're going to become bald because of our pride, So things like that, you need to be able to tell young girls that let the material things that you wear not go to your head, or the beauty God has given to you. Let it not distract you and take you away, and forget that you should use your body for the glory of God, for the to glorify God, and to impact other people's lives. So I find that the work I do in church, I'm very, very much able to touch the lives of the young and up and coming, and because they admire you, they see that you're successful. Also, the work I do with the youth, they need to know that you're a real human being, that you didn't just arrive ready-made like this, that you struggled, that you had challenges, that you suffered to climb up this ladder, and then you share with them, how did you overcome your challenges? Then they'll see how you clung onto God all through various stages in your life, and how each time you face a challenge, you're climbing a ladder and you're getting better each time. So that's the work I do, and slowly, for the past 5 years, I've been the first vice chairman to the PPC, the Pastoral Council. I was also the chairman, I still am the chairman of the Youth and Education Committee, because the church, I approached them and I said, oh, I want to help the youth. They said, come and join. I said, no, I'm a banker, I'm so busy. I won't have time to attend meetings, but I want to pay for school fees, I want to mentor them. And that's how I started. At the end, they said, no, you must be chairman of this committee. You must. So I got involved and I began to enjoy it even more, you know.
I like that, but now you're devout Catholic. How have you been able to balance your work and the people around you, the community of people around you?
A Catholic who really believes in the full doctrine of the Catholic Church, who truly wants to experience God the way all Catholics experience God, you will find that what is important to you is your actions, the things that you do, and that is how you're able to be an example to other people. I'm not saying that it's easy. It continues to be a struggle, even for the priests. I mean, some time ago I saw in the Precious Blood, prayer, there's a place where it says to pray for the priests. And for many years, I didn't even know that priests needed prayer. Then I said, oh my God, how selfish of me to think that just because they pray for us, they do confession, that they have no problems. And once or twice, priests that I do charity, I take care of schools all around the country, but it's priests. I allow the priests to, I give the monies to them, and then they pay for the school fees, they take care of the teachers and everything. And once in a while, they'll say, please pray for me. And I would wonder, why would a priest want me to pray for him? But you find that even the priests, they need prayers. They need prayers from distractions, prayers to even be good priests, to do things in accordance with the will of God. Because that is why we're here on earth to do. So it's not an easy task to try to be a Catholic when you're a highly placed person in government and when you're a very busy person. But the truth of the matter is, if you do not create time for God, God will not create time for you. And I know that at any day that I do not take my Holy Communion, it's like my brain has fallen out of my brain. I'm walking around with an empty head. That's really how a true Catholic and a true Christian should feel. When you've tasted the power of Christ, you've created the spirituality of God, that God still talks to people today the way he was talking to people in the Old Testament, that you ask God for something, he answers you instantly. You hear his voice, go this way, go that way, and people say, oh, how did you know? I say, well, I heard the voice of God.
Now, what is your advice to women, Catholic women, who have relegated their role of being mothers to their housemates?
Well, I think also bringing back, my quote about Isaiah 3 verse 16, where God talks about pride, that women should not be proud. We should not be wearing charms. The Jerusalem women were wearing charms on the legs and nose up in the air. I mean, that is how we must not be. And that is the example that Mother Mary gives to us, the projection of humility. It's so important that when God has risen you right up, that you make time to, sometimes I do things that force me to remember I must be humble. Like every year during my birthday, I go and sweep the church. It's something I'd like to do every day after Mass. I watched this man about a month ago, the way he cleaned the altar. He soaked the mop, full of soap. He cleaned very, very, with so much energy and vigor and devotion. After doing it with soap, he came back, did water, came back, then did a dry mop. 3 sessions, he did it 3 times. I can say, I just think, I wish I could clean this floor like this. Then today, I saw a young lady cleaning the altar. She was just cleaning it anyhow. And I felt like running there. We're saying the rosary. So I wish I could go show her how that man cleaned the altar of God. But humility for women is very, very important. And if you're humble, a lot of good things come your way. For a woman like me, I've always existed in an environment where men may call the shots. In banking, I got all the way to the top. You can't survive a male-dominated environment unless you have that ingredient called humility. You have that ingredient, knowing when to zip your mouth. It's not everything you say as a woman. It's not everything you say. Certain things you put into prayer if it's beyond you. So as women, we must always remember that when you bring up your children, don't growl at them. Don't give them this. Don't be aggressive, because modern children have a choice. While you're trying to bring them up as Catholic children, forget even Catholics, for those who are not Catholic, to bring them up as Christians, followers of Christ. There's distraction, TV, social media, pornography. They're exposed to everything else that are probably more attractive. So if you aggress your child too much, they will run. Always have a listening ear for your children. My children will discuss kissing, whatever it is. There's no detail they won't share with me. And I keep saying to them, remember the will of God. Whatever you do, remember the commandments, so they are guided. But don't force things down their throats. Because what happens is that when a child enters a problem or encounters a problem, they want to go to where they have a listening ear. And if over time you've cultivated a relationship where they feel relaxed with you, relaxed enough to know that you won't scream, yay, my dad, you did this, oh my God, they'll run away. They'll feel, you are the one they must come to and say, Mommy, I did this thing that is terrible. I have nobody else to turn to. Let your child know that you as a mother will always have an open arm for your children. And when they come, you embrace them and say, it doesn't matter what you've done, but let us try and rectify it. So that is my advice to women.
You're beautiful. You're an officer in the Temple of Justice. You are talented. You're a great achiever. So now, what is your advice to people who may find themselves in your position but don't know God like the way you know God?
My advice to Catholics who are very busy and not able to devote their time to God is a very relaxed person. God is very casual. You don't need formality to relate with Him. I had a job when I was in the bank. I was married. I had my 3 children in 4 years. I was chief FX dealer of the bank. The only time I had to pray was when I was in the toilet. I had no other time. So I knew what it was like, but I had to pray. And of course, as a Catholic, if you have a challenging job, you must go to Mass first thing in the morning. Start your day with Christ. You'll be surprised. People say to me, oh, you're so strong spiritually. I said, yes, but just like you take vitamins and you eat food for your body, when you pray, you are growing yourself spiritually. You're feeding your spirit, feeding your soul. And you don't know when you will need it. When you have a spiritual attack or whatever it is at a higher realm, you find out that prayer you've been praying over the years equips you. So whether you're asleep and people want to do anything, or whether you're awake, your spiritual strength is what would make you overcome it. So God is casual. Pray. Even while you're walking on the street, pray. You can meditate on your rosary on your fingers. You don't need to have your rosary around with you. So prayer is casual. Keep talking to God. It says that when we pray to God, God listens to us. But when God talks to us, are we listening? You really must create time to spend a little bit of time with the Blessed Sacrament, a little bit of time alone where you can have peace and quiet and just hear the voice of God, because God speaks to us. He continues to speak to us today, just like He was doing in the time of the Old Testament. God is always around us. And never forget to call upon the Holy Spirit. And Mother Mary, our mother, is always around us. Can we also forget our guardian angels? We have everything. We have everything. There's just so much. So no matter how busy you are, please create quiet moments for God.
Thank you so much, Madam, for giving us audience into your beautiful world. I have been speaking to Barrister Mrs. Sally Uweche Mbanefo, the DG, Nigerian Tourism Development Corporation. A rosary a day keeps the devil away from you. My name is Lavon Seletawo. Take care and God bless you. I hand you over to Emeka.
What a world of experience, I must say. And I have learnt a lot. And I believe you must have learnt a lot from that discussion and interaction. With Mother Mary behind you, and with your prayers behind you, there is no mountain that you cannot climb. And there's no problem that is insurmountable. That is basically the message our guests have succeeded in passing on to us, among other beautiful and interesting messages. Next on the line, the program is what to do. What to do when you are faced with a precarious situation that professionally cannot handle. What is the professional telling us today?
Hello viewers, my name is Mrs. Momo Mary Angela. Today on our What to Do segment, I'm here to talk on one of the things you can possibly do in case of child abuse. A child comes home with a mild laceration or a stain on her sleep, as a mother, you are bound to be bewildered, but you must not show that. You take on the child, mildly remove the sleep, with a smile on your face. You ask, I'll need to change your clothes, and then there's a drink for you before you take your lunch. So what happened here? With a smile, you had a fall or somebody hurt you. The child will be relaxed enough to tell you, so and so person forced me or did this or that to me. Yet again, you're still filled with anger, but it must not come out as an outburst. Otherwise, the child closes up. You attend to your child. If there's need to see a doctor, obviously there will be, do so. And the next day, or as you get back from the clinic, you call the head mistress or the school head, report the issue, and get to school the next day to find out what has happened and follow it up. At the same time, you advise your child on how to stay safe and stay away from such persons and further occurrence. That way, you will gain the confidence of your child, and next time she will open up, or he will open up to you. Thank you very much.
Oh, how time flies that we have come to the end of the program today. I believe you had a wonderful time. If you did, same time next week is another time out with you on the program. Till then, I am Emeka Obieki, asking you to remain blessed.